Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Scuba Science. For many, it is almost impossible to imagine scuba diving without a dive computer, but that is, all things considered, a relatively recent invention. Let's talk about the evolution of dive computers. If you look below this video, you can also see a join button. It is now possible to become a DiveSAGA member. This is a great way to support the DiveSAGA channel or Scuba Science specifically. And if you become an all access member, you also get access to, amongst other perks, the Scuba Science scripts in case you want to do some reading after watching the video. Before the advent of dive computers, divers relied on physical dive tables, provided by organizations such as the US Navy, to plan and execute their dives. These tables were often very approximative and very rudimentary. They were box-shaped, including a descent, a singular depth and bottom time, and an ascent. This meant that because they were so rudimentary, they were also conservative and not very flexible. The diver had to stay basically within these square parameters to execute their dive. In the 1950s and 60s, the first analog devices started popping up in the scuba scene. Now, whether or not you consider these diving computers is up to you. The most relevant example is probably the Decomputer Mark I. It was introduced by an American company called Foxborough, and it's essentially an analog device with springs, levers and gears to essentially simulate nitrogen intake. And it provided divers with a more dynamic tool than traditional paper tables. But whether or not you would consider that a computer, even though it was called Decomputer, is a little bit up to you. As electronics started to get a little bit more sophisticated, it is not until the 1980s when we first started seeing what we could properly consider dive computers. In 1983, the Orca Edge became the first commercially viable personal diving computer. That's literally 1 year before I was born, which I find pretty crazy. The Orca Edge did provide real-time calculations based on the US Navy tables. It displayed a safe ascent depth and a graphic representation of tissue gas loadings, allowing divers to monitor their decompression status more dynamically. As dive computers became more prevalent, the need for more accurate decompression algorithms grew. And in the mid-1980s, Swiss scientist Albert Buhlmann built his 𝐬𝐻L algorithm, which became widely adopted in recreational dive computers and is used to this day. These algorithms allowed for more precise calculation of nitrogen absorption and release, and thus increasing diver safety. Simultaneously, Dr. Edward Tallman of the US Navy developed what is known as the Tallman model. This is a little bit less used recreationally, but still exists to this day as well. This algorithm provided real-time decompression schedules for the US Navy's air and mixed gas decompression tables. In all fields, the 1990s to 2000s saw significant leaps in electronic technology advancements, and so also in dive computer technology. Manufacturers even began integrating new innovations, such as, for instance, air integration, allowing divers to monitor their tank pressure in real time and take that into consideration when looking at their dive computer. The Uvatec Aladdin Pro, introduced in 1987, is probably one of the most popular personal diving computers from that era. It became a very popular choice because of its user-friendly interface and its reliability. Not unimportantly, during this era is also when dive computers became more compact and, perhaps more important, more affordable, which really helped with their proliferation. And this is probably the era that really marks the shift from diving with tables and analog dive watches to diving with dive computers. marking a new era for convenience and certainly also diver safety. In recent years, dive computers have followed the trend of proliferation of advanced microelectronics that we use in every aspect of daily life. The biggest example of personal electronics and their advancement is probably the personal cell phone, the smartphone, but also dive computers have started taking many cues from what these small personal devices can achieve. Companies like Shearwater Research have introduced the Predator in 2009. This was the first dive computer to feature a color OLED display. The Predator also included Bluetooth connectivity to actually sync the computer with their desktop computer and transfer dive logs. Nowadays, dive computers of course offer a wide range of features. Air integration is certainly a staple that most dive computers will have to some extent. But also multiple gas switching, so being able to switch between different gases on the fly as used by technical divers. Digital compasses are also very common, allowing to now navigate underwater without the need of an extra device. And wireless connectivity to sync dive logs or entire upgrades are now very commonplace. And where a lot of these features used to be reserved for the higher end dive computers, they are now almost entirely normal in every single model that a manufacturer will produce. One of the most exciting innovations in recent times is perhaps the attempt to create some kind of heads-up display computers. Both the Shearwater Nerd and the Scuba Pro HUD or heads-up display are a good example of this innovation. This allows the diver to have the information in front of them. And while I personally think that this technology still has a ways to go before it fully matures, it is exciting to see the form factor change and to see the device move from a wrist-mounted to a more integrated approach that allows us to dive in an even more hands-free way. Once again, I personally don't think the technology is there just quite yet, but it is certainly exciting to watch. Especially because this type of technology is very useful to, for instance, technical divers, rebreather divers, or let's say underwater cameramen who have their hands full but would still like that information in front of them. Looking ahead and looking where most current micro technology is already headed in terms of smartphones, we can make some predictions as to where dive computers might be headed in the next few years. Garmin, for instance, does a really great job in integrating a lot of aspects of wearables into dive computers, so making them real smartwatches and almost fitness trackers that simply also have dive computer capabilities. Augmented reality can probably also become an interesting field to look at, especially in combination with heads-up displays and putting real-time data in front of the diver's mask as they are scuba diving. Advanced environmental monitoring, so for instance, of course, measuring the temperature, but also identifying marine life or tracking currents, are all integrations that we could still see coming in the next few years. And lastly, some improved personal safety features, such as incorporating personal biometrics, such as heart rate and circulation, can even further customize the decompression algorithm for the diver. Some brands, like for instance Scuba Pro, are already experimenting with this. In conclusion, from the early days of physical tables to analog devices and eventually computers that have gotten smaller and smaller and more powerful, dive computer science is yet another field in which I think we're going to see some real exciting innovations. It's just one of the many ways that we try to keep track of all the advancements in scuba science.